Hello, I am Rangru.
And I'm Graham.
We're today with game number 4 from Wargame Bootcamp
Ooh,
Discord
hot.
Elite Tournament Finals. We are on a mud fight. We know who's playing,
The
but what are
Jurgen
they playing
Rangru.
at? Hmm?
The Jurgen's firing
Oh my
Rangru.
god.
It's happening. It's the director move. But yeah, so on the left here in the blue, we have Greyhound playing as Eurocorps. On the right, pro-communist, and the red is playing as the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Yeah, and the
There it goes.
Jurgen getting some
Oh,
hits.
it's gonna get some hits. It's a direct hit right there.
Whoa!
But the AMX-13 does survive, which is why it's such a Chad. Yeah, so it does stun everything, but no kill. Hap going in hot here, cleaning up the MI8 MTV, but the OSA AKM K52 combo will shoot down the Hap.
Yeah, that's quite a crazy opening, and a very expensive one. Double OSAs or something, but double OSA AKMs is pretty wild. It makes sense because he is also invested in the
Right.
super heavy, but his infantry, it's really like what Spetsnaz and some ATGMs are going to get into the village, but the French are ready, unforced, to come on in.
Oh, and a piece right now, there's no smoke yet deployed here for this BU. It's just now starting to drop. The piece right, yeah, got to back up. But it does get the BTR-90, which is a nice little pick off because that thing can go ham on some infantry if it's got the right angle. So, but we're gonna see right here, Rang. I like this push here from Greyhound. I mean, he needs to protect that Leopard 2A5. Oh, okay, as I say that, it conquers him to the face. BU gonna tap her as well.
He's just going in. He doesn't care.
Okay. Yeah, he said fuck it.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
balling.
Excuse my language, YouTube chat. But
Oh, damn
the
it, you
Leopard
can't fucking
2A5.
shred.
I know. The Reich was going in hot right there. The BU also changed to a severe because of the AP from the missile at such close range. Great micro by Pro Communist there. But the Leopard 2A5 on 1 HP is gonna get wow. That's wild.
Yeah. But the thing is, it just comes down to force of numbers, and the reserve Reverse Mass 49s are ready to go ham. And just so many up close, the Spetsnaz grew, they're getting blabbed at CQC, and I think it's just going to come down to as usual. Legion 90s are going to get into the village, and that BU better back off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why I'm such a big fan of like that Eurocorps push. I'm sure it's why most people play Eurocorps on ladder. The reservists spam in front, and then you pair it together with something else. I mean, here we see Legion 90, right? They'll clean up these Spetsnaz Gru, and then if this Eric's in a position, which we're going to see, Eric's are fired. First one misses. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Lucky.
wow.
Both do miss right there. Smoke needs to come out with his BU. It's still within a little... Okay, yeah. So he got very lucky right there.
Yeah, that BU could have got big blapped, and that's really pro-communist only force multiplier currently on the map. Because heavy also AKM play, the KO-52 is still out of ammunition, and also the Jurgen, like he's...
Oh, the Eric's gets a nice little smack right there on the front of the BU, because the smoke has kind of dissipated right there. He's at a decent little angle, but if he cuts too far to the left there, you can see the gap in the smoke, and he'll take a missile to the face.
Yeah, this is really coming down to the Soviets, once again, having to rely on their subunits to do the killing. There's been heavy investment in subunits, but of course against Eurocorps with the classic reservage spam, it's just, you don't have the numbers to deal with that.
I think for me, the big problem with it was the Jurgen buy. I understand, like I remember when Director first did it with the M270, we saw it on this map, and it does work. The problem is you're not killing AMX-13s. So, like against those were M113s, he might have got like some infantry kills, which could have set him up for success there. But he's not killing anything of importance with the Jurgen right there. And so sure, he delays it just a little bit, Rang, but we saw it right there. It didn't really matter because there's so much mass coming down that road, and 140 points, excuse me, into a Jurgen early that doesn't really accomplish anything is a huge loss of points.
Yeah, especially on Mudfight where the initial rush into that village is so bloody important. Like, it's going to be very much an uphill battle now for pro-communists to get into here. I mean, he's got the BTRTs coming in, but the smoke is not dissipated properly yet. And look, he just takes it like a Chad. I forgot those BTRTs are very well armored.
Yeah, they're nasty, but like you see right there, the problem with smoking that off too is that it prevents the BU from also engaging very well. So like you're in a weird dynamic there. Like yes, you want to smoke off to prevent the Erics from hitting you, but you don't want. You also want your BU to be able to provide critical fire support. I mean, these OSAs are pushing up very aggressively here. You need to be careful. That's not a lot of smoke. Oh, but the MIMTV with the S13s pushing back the Legion there, that's huge. The Superior are going to try and get into this town. Jurgen strike as well. A lot going on right now.
Yeah, and we do see that second BU is making his way up to the front line. Oh, Ergen's firing its last little volley on these ATGM. F2 Milan, not the F3, not the F1. He likes it in between of the F2.
Kind of rare, actually, from Greyhound there. A lot of players go one or the other, especially with Eurocore. I mean, if you have to bring up F2 in a deck, I don't think the F2 is bad by any means, but a lot of players, like, they either go F1 for the spam or the F3 for I'm going to blap it. Osa getting, speaking of blapped, Osa gets right there. Oh, but the Peace Rhine does go down. Nice trade, actually, there by Pro Communist.
I thought you need, like, 17 anti-aircraft missiles to shoot down an aircraft, Graham.
Did you know, Rangru, that ERA stops cluster munitions?
Really?
I found that out today in Warno. I didn't know that.
Oh, wowee. I mean, that's some pretty, like, explosive reaction.
2 years of modern war in Ukraine, and I didn't know that. But I found out today in Warno. It's wild.
Yeah, thanks, Eugene.
Hey, this will suck. And Contact 1 stops clusters. Speaking of Contact 1, these T-72 BUs now throwing down this 285. Smoke can be critical here because this isn't just one BU throwing down with one 285. The double one, they can quickly bring down that 285 here. So we see smoking place. Good placement there by Greyhound to try and back it up. But a little bit of momentum, I think, maybe for Pro Communist Ring. But no infantry follow-up, which means he's going to be in danger.
Yeah, and that's always the hard part with the Soviets, is the infantry follow-up is usually very expensive, because your infantry, apart from like VDV-90, kind of suck. You're really buying most infantry for the infantry transports they come with. So, and the reservist spam, it's just so many dudes you have to break out of. He can control at least a decent chunk of his open battlefield with the double BUs, and definitely killing that one Peace Shrine gives him a bit of peace of mind, but he needs a good, platoon or so of infantry to clear out that town.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, like, because Soviet infantry, like you talked about, isn't that good. You can use reservists, and they're going to do a fine job of holding them. Because you have to, like, go VDV-90, which are expensive, or you're going Spetsnaz GRU, right? Very expensive to try and get into that town. There's a lot of fire support. You can create good concave, and it's just not cost efficient. It's kind of like while I'm on the, I know you like this too, the base VDV spam. Sometimes instead, because like sometimes, like, especially like in a very competitive game with the Soviets, you need your infantry to perform just a little bit better, and it's expensive to say, like, I mean, this is one superior squad, one VDV squad, they will lose to all this infantry here. I mean, look at that, that's 40 reservists, some sappers coming up, some Legion 90 in the back. That's gonna be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, and the smoke is really blocking off these T-72 BUs from doing their thing, because that Laboratory 5 and just all the cheap fire support, just, a bunch of 50 cows on light APCs will be enough to just keep his Soviet infantry at bay, because there's just not enough of him. And there's not enough RPGs to deal with that many just crap.
Well, and then you have to turn off either your LMG or your RPG to get your maximize your infantry, right? So, like, okay, so AMX-13's, so he's actually turned off his LMG, which is going to make him a little less efficient in the infantry fight there against the reservists, because he's not actually even targeting these AMX-13s. It's just small little things that can kind of affect the infantry battle, but there's so much fire support just dropping in this town. The BUs have pushed up aggressively, sappers are in, Panther in the back, but Skrezem BTR-90 with some GRU. I mean, there's a lot going down right now. Yeah,
I very much like how Pro Communist has been maneuvering his BUs. He's been aggressive with them, but he hasn't gone like too crazy with it, and he got some good hits in Laboratory 5. He's now forced Greyhound to actually buy the clerk. We got the French-German Giro here, so this could get pretty nasty. Yeah, usually you see like people just completely tap out and like either Laboratory 5 or the clerk cards first before getting to the other, mainly because you can like group it up, which is kind of useful in a micro sense. Well, you can't do that with the German-French combo.
Yeah, right, 100%. I was going to say it, and you beat me to it. A big thing, too, like, a lot of players will open with the clerk because of the auto-loader as well. So, like, the Leopard 285 does have the one more AP, and, was it one more frontal armor? Yeah, one more frontal armor, but the 12 rounds a minute for a super heavy is just really nasty. So, that's typically why you see the clerk start, and then you transition into the 285. I mean, either way, those are two big boys on the battlefield, but not being able to group them up does, I think, give pro-communist the advantage.
Yeah. At the same time, he hasn't been able to completely clear out that town yet, so he can't fully maneuver his tanks around it. There we go. We got the engagement going on.
Yeah, we see right there the first shot, 285, getting a smacking hit there on the Leopard, or the BU. Leclerc gets a hit as well. Leclerc is undamaged. Oh, and a miss there by the BU, but a hit by the 285, bringing down to a 2 HP BU. If Greyhound smells blood in the water here, okay, but Smoke quickly dropping, trying to protect this BU, because this super heavy battle will probably dictate who wins this game. Though, the infantry fight, once again, is going to go in Greyhound's favor. And just look at the train of French reservists called up from their poor little towns, their AMX 13s, to charge into the Southeast Asian town like it's Dien Bien Phu.
Yeah, they drove here all the way from Brittany to die in this little village. Good for them.
I mean, that's probably the transport they worked on back in, like, you know what I mean, like in the 60s. That's they get called. I mean, literally, they have their Moss 46, their LRAC 73. This is probably the gear they had in 1963.
Yeah, they're just ready to go on down. Oh, the VAP flank from the north.
That is disgusting. The VAP flank with the IFVs in the north, getting the supplies. Those BUs are in critical danger. The Caesar going for the snipe there on the Osa as well. He doesn't quite get it on 3 HP, but huge snipe actually for Greyhound.
Yeah, and he's not going to go completely crazy and try to just yeet the VABs into the enemy rear. He's going to back off, which is honestly much more valuable, because now Pro Communist is like, crap, I got hit from my rear. He's going to have to spend points invested in counterinsurgency, because, you know, a rear shot from those VABs could kill the BU.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The one VU, if they can get it. And he's going to split them off here, which is interesting, because, yeah, if you get one of them way in the back line, it could really create an interesting dynamic there to the detriment of pro-communist. But this has just been a resounding victory here by Greyhound in the middle. It was very back and forth, very intense, but this is why Eurocore is at the top, Rang. This is, like, you know, here we are 10 years later. It's still one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the game. And the Reservist Legion 90 combo paired with some super heavy, get a little bit of mortar action, a Peace Rhine here or there, a Kratal, maybe a Martyr too if you want to get jiggy with it. And it's just, it's nasty. It's very hard to beat. And pro-communists here, like, the Soviet infantry just wasn't good enough. He's tried to rely on something, you know, the super heavies, like you talked about, the super units, and it hasn't worked out yet.
No, it's quite funny with just like Wargame matches. We've kind of gone back to where it was a decade ago with Airline Battle, or just, you know, like the Scandi, Norwegian, Danish reserve
Times a
spam.
circle.
Yeah, the Heimat shooting spam, like that was all top tier. But then for a period of time, like reserve troops were just crap. You didn't really use them in Red Dragon. But now it's especially people figuring out, like, hey, my 3 frontal armor IFV and then a bunch of like reserve dudes. It's such a deadly combo and mixed in with some very good fire support. Where, like, said of Soviets, lack of infantry screws you over. VP's blapped. SG-25 base run. Yeah, Pro Communist really likes the base.
Yeah, and he's kind of changed my opinion on it. It's been pretty nasty. He's going in right here. Oh, oh wow. I think he originally had line of sight, lost it. I mean, you saw the rockets there impacting. He actually panicking the 285. Huge L though.
Big L indeed.
Very cool. Huge L and the Rafale out. Go ahead and establish some French air superiority. Yeah, I really agree with you. It's interesting to see here how it plays out. The Soviets, I just don't think that, you know, once upon a time, you know, I would have thought that the Soviets were probably one of the top tier ones, but I just don't think that's quite the case anymore. I think they're good. I'm not trying to say, you know, for people say in the Twitter and the YouTube comment that, Graham, well, how could you say that about the Soviet Union? But you really have to be good with your fancy units, because your baseline 20 point, 25 point, 15 point units, just for the most part, aren't as cost efficient. And that can be very difficult at the top tiers of the game.
Yeah, and you get to the problem where, you know, your top tier tank only has run cannon. You're seeing here, he's having to deal with the chaff of the 106 recoilless vehicle spam. But that's just given the Clerk and Leopard 5 time and space to actually get into position to deal with the BU.
Right, absolutely. And to be real, like, they're equivalent to the BU. Like, the BU's a great tank, but these are all super heavies. So this isn't like, you know, you're not a second lieutenant in the rank queue, like, still struggling with fighting super heavies. Both these guys know how to do that, and they're very capable of doing it. So a lot of the times, it doesn't really. Yes, the super heavies, like, when they die, that's kind of like cements the victory. But even here, Greyhound's completely in this driver's seat, and even if he lost his 2 super heavies, I think he still has a high chance of winning the game, because his infantry won the critical fight along with his cheaper fire support in Delta.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the infantry hooking around Alpha here, clearing up the Soviets. And even if he manages, I think he's going to win this fight. Maybe. No.
AMX-13s might be enough to deal with the Superior. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be close. Oh, the VAB coming up here. Oh, the VAB getting caught by the Skrezit, though. Yeah, the Skrezit's nasty.
Yeah, CQC. Yeah, the BUs, they come in, they get a few licks in, then they have to pull back because they can only really do so much, and this is just buying Greyhound a crap ton of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, like, Soviet versus Eurocorps is just a bad matchup for the Soviet Union. Jurgen, for example, like, you're not sniping the road there because half his infantry is going to be AMX-13s. The Soviets don't have a reserve infantry. I know someone's going to be like, but Graham, they have Motostrelki in the MCLB. Yeah, I got you, bro, but it ain't the same. And you know it's not. And you know it's not the same because if it was, everybody would use it. So it's just, you really need your BTR 90s, your BUs. I mean, the MTV, that's a great helo you can bring out early that players do. All those things have to carry you so that you don't have to rely on your baseline infantry whatsoever. I mean, in the BUs, and you have stellar BU play, which Pro Communist has had. Like, I mean, he's put on a clinic in terms of smoke play, repairs, target engagement, right? Like, he has done a very good job keeping those two units alive, yet he's literally getting pushed into Charlie.
Yeah, you know, I really like his Legion 90 play of doing the flank around. Too bad he got spotted by the truck and didn't continue to push, but Greyhound is smart and just realizing, hey, I've probably been spotted. Let's go and hide in the trees. The MTV helicopter is going to come on in.
Yeah, weird angle for it. Yeah, for the S-13s. Yeah, it's an angle there for the S-13. Wow, if we could deal with helicopters kind of wild a lot. Yeah, BUs does clean it up there, which is actually for new players. It's critical. The LMG was firing on the MA8. Pro Communist brings the BUs up, gets the double shot, which panics and stuns the Legion 90, which allows them to get the kill there. A lot of times, you don't necessarily want to run up on Legion 90, but in a forest engagement like that, that's perfectly viable, to, like as you saw, to go up there and blap them real quick.
Yeah, especially with T-72s, because auto-loader trait means that even if you do get panicked or stunned, you're still reloading, so you can get a pretty good shot off in a forest fight. But yeah, he's having to refuel and runs again because he's used a lot of munitions, but he's just lost the position. I think honestly we'll just take us through like a ×2 at Tourney to Tourney.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see how Pro Communist gets back in this.
And ×2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, one thing that's interesting to me about Pro Communist in his deck, he hasn't really tried to challenge Eurocorps air superiority, and I think he actually has a good deck for it. That's one thing that I really do enjoy about the Soviets. The MiG-25, especially when you vet them up, is nasty. You just need one hit from the MiG-25, and there's a high chance you can take down that Raphael, right? And you kill one Rafale, and then you completely put the Eurocorps airplay on its back foot. So, I mean, not that he's had a great necessarily chance of getting into airplay, but for 100 points, I almost always think it's worth trying to maybe, when you're as good as him, I think you can maybe get it. Like, look how deep this Rafale's going, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean,
he's getting cocky.
I mean, you get two MiG-25, that's 200 points, only 20 points less. If you get that, you blap it. I mean, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah,
I don't know, just an observation.
The real Chad Soviet airplay is there. 2 MiG-25s, 2 Yak Run 4-1s, because unlike most other decks where you have to buy like the really Gucci expensive fighters, you got 2 really good, you know, medium price fighters, but they can go toe to toe with the high end runs, and especially in 1v1s and a lot of matches where losing your big fighter just by one misclick because these planes have been goddamn buggy for the past decade sucks, right? Gives you a little bit of, I don't know, leeway to lose some aircraft, which is good.
Oh, the BU pushing up right there, the 285 getting a smacking shot on her. Yeah, Panzergren's now here, Martyr 2's here. I mean, this is gonna be really nasty. There's no way he's breaking through that. The
no, he barely has infantry. Once again, just lack of dudes, because BDV 90s and Skrezit, fantastic combo, but it's also, well, 40 points for a single squad and a funny little anti-aircraft unit.
Yeah, it's why, like, it's a valid argument to be made that I just think that this is me on using my platform here. I just think that the Soviets, they're not what we always view the Soviets as this like top level, but more often than not, when we cast a Soviet player, they lose the game.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make what they do work. Yes, you can beat up on a lot of people if you're pro-communist, and you get a lot of fat dubs with the Soviet Union, but this will be the second game, 2 in a row, I think, that he's lost with the Soviet Union. And there's just a reason for that, and it's just, I think the meta has kind of left them behind a little bit. That doesn't mean you can't play them excellently. It doesn't mean you can't get a lot of good wins with them. But they are not, like, if I had to say, like, top level deck, almost a division, that you have to bring out. They're just lacking a little bit. I think I need the Eugen to come back and buff the Soviet Union.
We need Softcore back, for Christ's sake. The death of Softcore is one of Eugene's greatest mistakes. One of him. There's many, but
no, I agree with you, because something that the United States kind of has a similar problem with the infantry, but just play NORAD immediately wipes out that problem.
Yeah, and the 5 less activation points doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for. Yeah, I think that's, you know, we think back on it, we're like, oh, but you had the T-90, T-72BU comma that was so dirty. I mean, I got you, bro, but you can take the T-72BU and the T-80UM in this deck.
Yeah. If you're taking 3 cards of super heavies, well, what are you doing? Are we playing 4v4s, 10v10s?
Like, I've always understood that, but the Soviets could use a cheaper baseline that's, you know, there's some stuff that the North Koreans have that would actually accentuate them a little bit better, but obviously that's never happening.
No,
we'll get an Italian DLC before that happens.
Yeah, or we just have to for Blitzroar to do it.
Oh, but yeah, in the BWC mod.
Yeah. Great mod, check it out.
It's great. Yeah, Tiger Hat here, Leopard. I mean, look at this Suicide Rush here stuff. It is actually pretty expensive for almost nothing. That's just the downside of the Soviets. Is that you gotta, like you said, you gotta bring the expensive IFV. But if you're not in a position that allows the IFV to excel, you're basically overspending to get a cheap infantry unit out.
Yeah, and it has still crap armor, and it's gonna get blapped if you make a mistake, and you're going to make mistakes. And yeah, pretty standard KD difference share. But wow, Greyhound has managed to bring it up to a 2-2. So we get a game 5.
Game 5.
Yeah, and we are going to go immediately to game 5. See you guys in a couple seconds. And here we are, welcome back. Game 5, a couple seconds later, just as I promised, from Punjing Valley. We know who's playing, Graham. What are they bringing?
Yeah, so once again, left, blue, Greyhounds playing Scandinavia. But the real pick, the hot pick, oh my god, is pro-communist playing red 4 Airborne. And in the red on the right there, and this is just nasty. That's a Polish MiG-29 up already. We got multiple helicopters coming out here. Mi-17s, Mi-MTVs, Mi-24K. Remember when that was added in ALB?
Yeah.
That was wild time.
Wild shit. But no, this is
as well. So cool. Oh my.
Like, I don't care whether he wins or loses. This is a completely Chad play of going red air for your finals match to determine the winner of the tournament here. And he's doing just barely legal limit helicopter us. It's below 6 helicopters, so he's good. But he's using it to get himself into Bravo.
One rover going down. He tried to bomb him right there, but he does. It actually did hit. I thought it was going to miss a little bit. So the bomb's getting nice connection there. There is an LVKV, though. 90 up there, so that's going to push back some of these helicopters. But an early grab of Bravo by pro-communist, which kind of makes it works out. SU-24 MP is up. The radar is on for this AA piece, Rangru.
Misses?
Oh, a miss. Yeah,
VPO. Is he going to be the seed? Yes.
VP is the seed, tanking some shots right there. So this whole northern position is now in danger from these helicopters for pro-communists.
Yeah, I honestly, like, the helicopter rush play opener for this map is a pretty good one, because it's so hard to dislodge people, especially in the far flanks, because it's very hard to completely lose Foxtrot. Yeah, Concourse and position you can fairly easy hold on to. And also, pro-communist has... he kind of the worst side of the map.
Oh, double puff up.
Oh,
yeah, the double puff answer. Yeah, to try and deal with these helicopters. The VP should go down here. Yep, there goes the VP. So it'll go just down as well. Clean. The one puff does go down to the MiG-29. Let's see if she's going to try and get for the other one, and that one gets away.
Damn.
That kind of works for Greyhound, I think.
Yeah, because also Greyhound could just push heavy middle.
Yeah, though there is a K-29 loitering there. Another F5B brought out, and really Pro Common is buying Pragas and BTR. That's VDV. He has MTV wasting its S13s on an M111. See the automatic here can get the snipe on this SU-24. 22. Oh yeah, it's gonna blap that SU-24. Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely smart
And it's gonna
move.
oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, maybe Red Air against the deck, which can bring in automatics, is not the best move. Because you can just buy the automatic, and it will kill every single unit Red Air can bring in, including their tanks.
Yeah, and grouping up was really smart there because you just need the automatics as one group to fight against the seeds. So instead of splitting them up, just have it so it's easier on your radar micro. Keep it off, and then when he inevitably gets too close, which is going to happen, your automatic is going to auto blap it.
Yeah, he's gonna be big blapping here. But no, Pro Communist kind of lost a lot of steam already. I mean, down south, there's a Dragonair push going on. He doesn't have a lot of ground units, but, well, to be fair, he is playing Red Air, and he's invested a lot into aircraft.
Yeah, I mean, this SU-22's out here, but there's nothing for him really to pick up. This Lynx, if he gets something to CV, that would have been nice, but no. So, not going to be able to get that. Reinforcements already coming out for Greyhound. The Fennec 20 mil is trying to deal with the Sokol. I think they'll win that, which does mean Bravo's actually pretty wide open. The angle's pretty there's really not a Pahoda right there kind of chilling, but that's basically it.
And we got the Phoenix coming in. That PT is slowly... Oh, it's out of machine gun hammer already, so we can't do too much. And we're just seeing that F5 strikes just coming in constantly. Just getting those cheap rockets on target, if you can find the target.
Yeah, I mean, one good air engagement here, though, for Greyhound, and he probably just auto-wins. I mean, I already think he's in a really solid spot here. The momentum is pretty much evaporated for Procommunist. He's just relying on these aircraft being maximum amount of annoyance. Oh, a snipe, though, by the SU-22, because he had the radar on for the automatic, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah, if he can keep blacking those automatics, and he can just continue his airplay. And also, nice thing of Punching Valley is a pretty wide map, so it's actually a pretty big advantage for aircraft heavy play, because it's just harder to set up an anti-aircraft net. It's not like Paddy Field, where it's just so narrow.
Yeah, very true. And we do see more planes coming out here by Pro Communist. Mi-24D as well. That's probably going to have the FJBs in them, so I think that's going down south. He doesn't have to worry about the rover that could pick him off. So what's this L-29 going for? Oh, is he guessing where the...
Yeah, he's going in.
Oh, he was, but the Block 15 dived right in, gave one plane kill, going for 2 plane kills. Will he get it? Yeah, he does. Nice engagement there by the Block. The Puff coming out as well. I mean, honestly, if you're Greyhound, it's a big question, Ray. Do you buy more and more aircraft to try and counter the airborne aircraft, or is it better just to say, hey, let me get as much AA out as possible?
He just needs to buy 4 automatics, group them together, and then just attack move into Alpha.
That is honestly not wrong.
Yeah, you just play the seed game correctly and you win. Like, the helicopters can't shoot you, you're gonna beat all the vehicles and infantry. Just ATGMs, which are a bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, literally that's the only thing. And so, Pro Communist does have a Conquer Zim, he does have Effect Victoria, but that's it.
Yeah, no, I don't think the Charioteer is gonna be too much of a threat.
Charioteer versus automatic. I mean, you've probably seen it in War Thunder.
Oh, yes, I've definitely been on the receiving end of that engagement.
Yeah, and we all know how it went. You don't have to let the viewers know. We all know, Rangu.
No, not safe.
Not safe. It sounds like you still have some PTSD from it.
Maybe just a tad. It's just the stock grinds so hard.
It's definitely hard. The F5B coming at me right here, trying to get some more nice little rocket play from those S5s. Doing a little bit of work, but not enough. There's just not enough, like, who would have thought, enough units out on the field here for Red Air. I mean, this Big 29 is going to come in. This is the Napalm Bomber, sexy-ass plane. Will it get it should get a nice little hit here on the Dragonairs and the Falcon Yager. Yeah. I mean, nice hit, but there's no follow-through.
Yeah, that's the problem. The nice advantage, at least for him, is that he still controls Northern Bravo completely, because it just hasn't been any pushes up yet. So Greyhound hasn't really amassed a major force to push anywhere apart from Foxtrot, but he does have momentum. He has more ground forces, and it's just really an inevitability till he probably tries to make the push from Delta into Alpha or from Delta into Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, he has a little bit, of force in Delta. So it's not like there's nothing there. There's Puff here coming from the Mi-17. Did you get the kill? Yeah, it does. Getting the rotor right there. I mean, MiG-29 coming out, some more planes. This is really annoying. I bet you if you're Greyhound and you're like, God, this sucks. But he's definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, because what he can also do, not just the automatic spam, you just buy M41 Walker Bulldogs, you spread them all out, and you just attack move. Because it's way too inefficient to keep bringing aircraft to blow up 10-point recon tanks. Like, once again, like with the reserve spam from just last match, you just overwhelm your opponent with a bunch of crap, where you just, aircraft are really precision targets to blow up very important positions. You just make all your positions not so important.
Ooh, check MiG-29 back out as well. Evac right there. And see if the F-16 could get a kill on that. That would be nasty. Oh, one shot that F-5. This is that MiG-19, I think. Yeah, she got big boy blapped. FIB, another one coming out as. I mean, these F-16s have gotten really good value. Like that's the third or fourth plane kill for them, so that's nice. Foxtrot getting some VDV out in the open. It is annoying. Like what Greyhound's dealing with, it's a lot of air. There's a lot of helicopters. It's in your face, but Greyhound has the material advantage on the ground, and that typically is what wins games in Red Dragon.
Yeah, and he's got the MLU.
Yeah,
oh, he's using it for the AMRAAMs.
Yeah, just the AMRAAMs. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought about that too. He probably wishes he had brought the AM instead for Red Air.
I got the MiG-29 trying to go on in.
Yeah, he's going for the Polish MiG-29. If he can establish air dominance here, and he does, getting the kill. He is a little messed up. The MiG-29 trying to come in. No, he's going for a bombing run here. But the automatics up along with the Danish F-16, and there goes the Czech MiG-29, missing the automatic as well. And yeah, I think that's probably going to cement Greyhound far ahead in this game.
Yeah, because he's already got
air engagement.
The push going into Alpha slowly but surely here.
Auto Magic might die here to that swing too. Oh no, radar's off. He's Gucci. F-16 dives in. Oh yeah, this is done.
Yeah, he just doesn't have anything left, and we're seeing some forces, the M41s being brought in up north as well. Wow, what a way to finish the tournament.
Yeah, a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's such a meme deck to bring. It's like I said before, this isn't a terrible deck for Punjing Valley just because of the width. But you really gotta, like, get big dubs. You gotta, like, blow up Delta immediately if you really want to make it work.
Yeah, whereas it's still keep focused on Bravo, which, it's like we talk about all the time on the channel ring. You got to go for the 2-pointer, especially if you're going balls to the wall with an airborne deck, a red 4 airborne deck. Like, you might as well just go all in for a Delta like Hilo drop.
Yeah, you want to get your infantry into the Delta town and just shut that down for as long as possible to get that nice sort of +2, because you're basically playing this C2 Maverick at that point. You just need early points early on, and then you just dig in and hold until relieved.
Yeah, I mean, the deck itself, like, for Red 4 Air, it's not a bad deck when you look at it, but there's, I don't know how it would stop without just massive air superiority, like a mechanized Scandinavian push. Like, it would just be really difficult.
Yeah, there's really too much stuff for him to blow up, like, there's all the Dragoneers, the M13s, M41s. It's not efficient for him to just blow these things up, because our decks do really well against, super unit decks which have like fancy super heavy tanks.
It would probably do well against Israel.
Yeah, it'd do very good against Israel.
Israel would do very well. Yeah, I mean, the automatic alone, like we said at the start before the game started, like that might be and we see it here too. And the KD reflects the last couple of minutes. It was an aerial beatdown for the Scandinavians.
Yeah, but well done, Greyhound. He managed to claw his way
way to go, Greyhound.
Out of the jaws of defeat and into the other jaws of victory. So, very impressive work. Like, he picked top-tier decks. He played top-tier. I mean, Pro Communist, especially in the last match, did really well. But it just felt like he was just kind of, I don't know, memeing it a rave for the last match, just for
Yes.
whatever reason.
The last match did feel a little meme-age was detected, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe he was like, hey, I can legit win on Pushing Valley with Red Airborne. But it did feel like, hey, I'm going for... Did they play all these games in the same day? Do you know?
I actually do not know, because that's a good point.
Because I could see, like, if this was the 5th game in the same day, you're just like, all right, you know, F it. I'm just throwing the Airborne deck out to see I win or lose in 10 minutes. Which I can respect that.
Yeah, playing these top-tier games does get, especially game best of 5, is pretty tiring affair. Especially if you just run the first 2 matches, and then you immediately lose the next 2 matches. It's like, oh god, I was in a really good position. Now I'm not so much in a good position. That can be pretty bloody demoralizing.
Right, absolutely. But it was an amazing series to watch and cast. While that Greyhound came back to secure the W, and just it was funny seeing Red Air at the very end.
Yeah. Great series of matches. But,
Absolutely.
yeah, well, that's pretty much it for now. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching. And usual, please just take it easy.